What we're going to have a look at now is what it means when we say a function, and then how we can tell if a particular relationship is a function. So a function is a specific case of a relationship where no two different ordered pairs have the same x coordinate. What we mean when we say ordered pair, it's basically any point on the graph. And it's an ordered pair because we've got the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So taken any point on this line here, for example, if we read down from that point, we're going to get the x coordinate. If we read across, we're going to get the y coordinate. So when we say different ordered pairs, we're talking about any different points within the same line of that graph. So we can see in this case here, as we move along that line and have a look down at the different x values by looking down, we've always got a different x value. So for any given point, there's only ever going to be one x value with the same point. If, however, we have a look at something like this graph here, if we have a look at this particular x value here and we have a look up, we can see that there's a point on the graph there for that x value and a point on the graph there for that x value. So because of that, because we've got two points on that graph which are going to have the same x coordinate, this one is not a function. Whereas if we have a look at this one over here, for each value of x there is only one point on the line, so that would be classed as a function. So one way we can determine if a particular relation is a function is by comparing sets of ordered pairs from the graph. So if we have a look at this set of 4 ordered pairs here, if we have a look at the x value in each case, we can see that each ordered pair there has a different x value. So because each ordered pair has a different x value, this would be considered a function. If we were to now have a look at this other set of ordered pairs down here, once we start having a look through, we compare all of these x values. We can see that we've got 2 different ordered pairs there with the same x value. For that reason, we would say that this is not an example of a function. Now, if we have a graph, we can determine whether or not it is a function by conducting the vertical line test. Basically, that means if we were to draw a vertical line anywhere on that graph, it would only cut the graph at one particular point. If it cuts it at any more than one point, then it is not a function. So we can see in this first example here, for each of these different vertical lines that have been drawn, they all only cut the graph in one place. So that means that this one would be considered a function. In this second example here, again, if we have a look at each of the vertical lines that have been drawn in, we can see that they only cut the graph in one place. So again, this would be considered a function. In the last example here, however, we can see that this vertical line cuts the graph at 2 places. Therefore, it is not a function.